Here's a good question. Small groups should be like operating rooms, and if that's so, is this risky stuff for untrained small group leaders to plunge into? Well, it can be. And I want to sort of draw a continuum here. If you talk about on this end of the continuum are people that have aluminum foil on their heads and they're getting messages from outer space about all the people in the group, obviously they're not going to be the ones that you would entrust, a process of people talking about life with. And on the other end are probably, the professional experts, right, who can do the neurosurgery of the soul. But somewhere in here, what every group decides, or what every group leader or somebody that's the overseer of all this decides, is that there's some sort of vetting process, right? That we know that somebody's not dangerous. We know they got pretty good emotional intelligence. We know that they've got, they're just pretty normal, and they can sit down and talk, and they're in a growth path themselves, and whatever those criteria are by which you kind of qualify people, then that's all you really need. You just need somebody that's kind. You need somebody that's a good listener. You need somebody that's got good structure and can step in if things get, too difficult, or if somebody needs to maybe have more help, or they need to steer them out of it. So it's kind of like a combination of somebody that's loving and kind and somebody that's got a pretty good sense of self-control and can, guide things. Once you have that and they're not lunatics, then they can do groups like this if they have the second thing, and that's something that provides a structure of the process. And what I always recommend is the less skills that a leader brings to that process, then they need to have materials that will do that process for them. If you look in our workbooks, for example, there's always sort of a middle point that we try to hit, which gives enough structure to guide the process, and then enough open-ended white space that a process can emerge. And what I would look for as a small group leader is materials that strike that balance. They're taking us down a path and creating a process, but they're not like yes-no answers all the time, where there's space that a process can then emerge. And if you do that and you have nice people with pretty good boundaries, I think they can, for the most part, handle a lot of normal life.